We are here at CWC Interiors, the official carrier of designer pieces from Herman Miller, Vitra, Knoll, and Macy's. Today, they are doing an exhibit, Iconic and Exotic, featuring modern mid-century furniture and vintage pieces. Like what we see on this wall, the works of Ray and Charles Eames. The Iconic and Exotic is a collaboration between CWC Interiors and Mid-Century Manila. Why iconic? Because the exhibit includes the iconic modern mid-century furniture along with the background of the designers behind each piece. Now, why exotic? Some of the pieces shown here are not reproduction but actual vintage pieces along with quirky objects from the same generation. The vintage pieces come from private collections of Felicia and Kim Atienza, Julius Babao, Architect Sara Conlas, Architect Ed Ledesma, Dr. Jean Feliciano, Nikki Coseteng, among others. The whole exhibit is curated by CWC President Fred Yuson and Mid-Century Manila founder Ken Mishuku. The exhibit venue, being the showroom of CWC, features a mix of reproductions that you could try out and also purchase, vintage pieces that come from private collections displayed on pedestals, and miniatures of the designer chairs in enclosed acrylic boxes. With the exception of the multicolored Mini Cooper, all vintage pieces here are placed on white platforms with the name and the year of production along with the designer. What makes them exotic are the variety of materials and shapes used, like this Frank Gehry wiggle chair that's made of cardboard, or the sharp-looking origami chair by Frank Lloyd Wright. Then there are pieces that remind you of modern design movements, like your style. This red-blue chair by Gerrit Rehfeldt is part of the collection of Dr. Jean Feliciano. It also sprouted some other styles like the Mondrian. And this chair from Carlo Molino, inspired by architect Gaudi, it's also featured in the cover of the exhibit catalog. We also see some familiar pieces here like the Warren Plattner armchair that we used recently in a residential lanai, and this Noguchi coffee table from Herman Miller, and the Eames silhouette, which is available in a variety of reproductions sold under Vitra. The miniature display is a great way of examining the pieces in all angles while practically saving space, like the way the objects are displayed, like in a production lineup, makes it possible to zero in on each piece and appreciate the silhouette. The saleable pieces are a great way of experiencing the original piece fit for today's quality, like this 1956 Eames lounge chair with ottoman, also from Herman Miller. Eames is known for their groundbreaking contributions to architecture, furniture, and industrial design. Charles was born in 1907 in Missouri, where he took up architecture, and Ray Kaiser Eames was born in 1912 in California. They both met in Cranbrook Academy of Art, and they got married in 1941, and they both moved to California, where they continued their furniture design work with molding plywood. And soon, production was taken over by Herman Miller. Today, we're fortunate enough to be joined by interior designer Mazen Castro, who can tell us more about this furniture. Hello, Mazen.
Hi, Josh.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, of course.
So we're now here at the Eames Wall with all the works, and we're seeing these silhouettes a lot in a lot of places, and people think that these are very recent designs.
Yes, actually, some of these pieces were actually designed from 1940s, and you can see them a lot right now. So they look contemporary, but they were really modern pieces.
All these pieces fashion the same simple, sleek design that is known of the modern mid-century, and it is this character of this design era that lends itself to reproduction and reinterpretation by today's brands and designers. The design movement not only carried this aesthetic, but it also carried a mantra that design should not only be beautifully constructed, functional, and efficient, but also attainable. The pieces are not only attainable to the middle class with all the reproductions, but also attainable to the designers that takes inspiration from them.